Hi all, in this new session we will have a brief introduction of Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop is one of the most powerful graphics and image editing softwares available right now. So right now I have just opened version CC 2014 of Adobe Photoshop. Basically Photoshop works on raster file format. In graphic designing there are two file formats, one is raster and the other one is vector. Raster file formats collects information or stores information in the form of pixels or picture elements. So they are just like small blocks similar to the blocks in a graph. Vectors stores information in the form of mathematical forms, mathematical workflow. So both file formats have its own advantages. Photoshop is using raster file format. So we can explain the difference between raster and vector through this image. Here you can see a raster image, representation of raster image in the left hand side and vector image on the right hand side. So if we go for a zoom level in raster file format, you can see the individual pixels which stores information, or pixels are the building blocks of these raster files. So in vector it's not like pixel, it is using mathematical formulas for storing the information. So if you are zooming it, you will not see these blocks, and they are more scalable than the raster format. So I have just opened an image here. Basically all images stores information in the form of pixels. Here if you go for a zoom level, you can see the individual blocks. These are the pixels. So we can see the basic layout of Photoshop right here. On the left hand side you have the tool panel. These are the basic tools which are used for the workflow, and on the right hand side you will get to see different kind of panels. The panel for selecting the colors, making other adjustments, styles. You can have layers right here. Basically when we work on different kind of files, you will get layers. So basically a PST file which is saved on a hard disk will have different kind of layers. So as an introduction we will just familiarize the different panels, tools and general settings of the software. So we need to have a proper allocation of the system resources for the usage of this Photoshop software. So for getting into the preferences, you can have this Ctrl+K shortcut and you will get to the Preferences tab. Here in the performance setting, you can have the measurements of the available RAM, total available RAM in our system, and how much the Photoshop is given the allocation. So here you can adjust the amount of RAM which is used by this particular application. According to your system's resources, you can make it bigger or smaller. And here you can opt for the kind of files which you are going to use in this program: tall and thin, default, big and flat. There are three options, and according to the requirements you can choose one of the options. And here you have the history states. History states denotes to the number of actions which you can revert. So according to this status, you can go back to at least 25 steps. If you are making a mistake, or if you want to go back to a previous position in Photoshop, then you can set accordingly. Here you can go at least 25 steps, and the cache levels denotes the amount of memory which can be accessed in a faster setup. And there is a setting for scratch disk also. Scratch disk is a temporary swap portion or a virtual memory which is a position in our hard disk which is used by Photoshop as a temporary medium. So you need to have some amount of space dedicated for the scratch disk also. And if you have a good graphic processor, you can give a check on this box in order to make use of the graphic processor available for your Adobe Photoshop. And regarding the general appearance, you can switch between different modes of visual appearance just by pressing the key F. You can switch between the different modes. Here you can see the change of appearance just by pressing the key F. And again here you can see the view settings. You can make different kind of appearances like rulers. You will see the ruler right here, and you can have the extras like grid. If you want to make a grid appearance, you can make it appear from the view option. If you switch it off, it will be disappear. So this is regarding the general appearance of the windows. And here you can have the different tools which are commonly used in Photoshop, and when you place your cursor to the individual tools, you will have a small write-up regarding the tool, the name of the tool. Here it's showing the move tool, then right here rectangular marquee tool, and you can see the corresponding short keys in the bracket. So likewise you will get to know what are the titles, what are the names of the different tools. Some of the tools will have sub options also. Here you will see a small denotation regarding the sub options. When you right click that, you will get into the different sub options for that particular tool. That's all regarding the very basic appearance and settings of Adobe Photoshop. We will explore more details in the coming sessions. Thank you for watching.